because of that, the primary hindrance towards production, period, is perfectionism. And the practice of any art or tradition for a long period of time can instill a habit or a desire for perfection and execution. And unfortunately, when you're doing something new or doing anything really, having a standard of perfection should never stop you from producing things. And the tricky thing about media is that until you put it out into the world, it hasn't completed being produced. It's like giving birth to a life form that you have to put it into the world in order to learn from it and engage with it. And it takes a level of, I guess, humility, but also acceptance to be willing to put something that may not be perfect into the world and continue putting things into the world so that certain things can happen. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of great ideas for things they wish to produce, but they don't produce them because they never feel like it's good enough, or they want to put the perfect thing out. And realistically, nothing perfect gets released. But the more things that people see, the more people that are inspired, and the more people that come and want to support your endeavors and our endeavors. And that's why I want to commend you for being willing to like create media and be a part of media and bring people together and document that creation and that collaboration, because I literally wouldn't have found you without that.
Thank you so much. That's dope. And man, you made a hell of a point, because yeah, I think as martial artists, we can definitely be purists, because like we'll be like, well, if I release this, it's not only a representation of me and my training, it's a representation of the art. And I don't need other people coming down my throat saying that I did, that I misrepresented, or I said this wrong, did this wrong, my technique is off. But what I wanted to say to piggyback that is, I think that purist mindset is twofold, because Hollywood, once they get involved, also has a certain way that they want to shoot fight scenes. So then what it forces us to both be purists, because we all know if I'm actually in a street environment, street self-defense, and I need to defend myself, it's not going to look as clean as it does in the movies. There's going to be a little bit, okay, and then it works. Like, but in the movies, it's one, and then two, and then three, and then three people are knocked out without any, you know what I mean? So I think that even what we appreciate as far as the audience, I think that we can, those of us that are, taking these roles on, we can do a lot for the realism and how things are shot. Because if we let them attach to that culture, and then you add that level of the fight scene realism, well, then how we can really demonstrate the art's effectiveness makes more sense. You know what I mean? Because I think there's an old story that they say in Capoeira all the time, that and I forget who the gentleman's name is that's in the story, but the capoeirista sitting at a bar, and a guy challenged the capoeirista to a fight. So the capoeirista's like, okay, and the guy's like, all right, meet me outside. So the guy turns around, the capoeirista busts his head with a beer bottle as soon as he turns around. It's like, that's capoeira. Like, and I think that part is what we're missing out of a lot of martial arts. It's like, I'm not gonna sit here and like jingle with you before I fight. Nah. But in the Hollywood context, that's what the audience would want to see. So I think that we can all do our part to create content that is enjoyable, that makes sense. But ultimately is inspirational, because that's why we're watching these movies. I don't care who you are, whether you train or not. That martial arts movie inspired you. We know the greatest tool is our mind. So if we're inspired by that martial arts movie and we don't train, but we took a piece of the philosophy and applied it to our job, who's to say? Like, why is that a bad thing? And we never know how many people's progress we're hindering by not releasing this content. So that is the thing that I say to like challenge us, that like have that purist mindset. When we create content, we don't release it. You never know whose progress you are inhibiting by keeping that away and preventing that light bulb moment for them. So I really appreciate you highlighting that.
Absolutely. Y'all are the forerunners in these spaces, and Atlanta has the highest concentration of people authentically representing the art and the culture and mindset in ways that can be digested by like the modern age. There's you who are introducing, like, without exploration to you, I would have had to go all the way to Haiti or all the way to Texas maybe 4 times a year in order to be able to experience Haitian machete fencing. But like, because of the work that you've done to connect people, I was able to experience it. And in a very ironic turn of events, that happened to lead to being able to experience Makulele. And in a very interesting turn of events, the dude that does Haitian machete fencing also does capoeira. It's beautiful when things happen full circle.
Absolutely.
There you are.
Yeah, of course the call came through. But yeah, anyway. That's just like a testament, like you were saying earlier, to that need of the cross training. You know what I'm saying? Like you come across Capadista, like you never know what they know. Like and when we all start to understand that, like I think, the deeper people get in martial arts, they start to understand, like, even if I think I'm a badass, I never know what this other badass might know that I don't know. So yeah, that's dope. That's dope. And it's even more gratifying when people are exploring parts of their culture that mean something to them generationally. You know what I mean? Like that's just, you can't beat that. You can't beat that. I shaded that.
Absolutely. We got freaking Ricky Melandro out here going to where the people that do Wing Chun and Jeet Kune Do are, and showing them the beauty of certain techniques, like, and getting views, many views, and working with people in movies and stuff. We got Quilombas Luz making insane events and capturing them and highlighting the roots of where the art comes from is absolutely fantastic. Just seeing the exploration and the maintenance of like authenticity and love and community in the space, and how the internet is used to push it forward. But in the same token, the content does not betray the experience. A lot of people can be so concerned with producing content, including myself, that it can get in the way of experiencing it. And I think you guys do a great job of creating experiences and genuine relationships, while at the same time sharing just enough with people for them to know that things are happening and being done.
Well said. Yeah, I think again, and this is just harkening back to, like, why everybody falls in love with capoeira. Like it requires you to do so much that you're going to have a culmination of all these things that you can do, but you can only give so much. You know what I mean? Like as a capoeirista, you're going to be a singer. You're also going to be a drummer. You're also going to be a dancer. Like there's just no ifs, ands, buts about it. Like you're going to have to know all these things, and you're also probably going to have to be a little bit politically savvy. You're not going to have to be involved per se, but at least savvy. Because this art has been persecuted for a long time. So I think that once we can really attach our why to the culture of our art, and I stress the why to the culture of our art, not just the art, then we can all kind of like have a lot better experience, and we can also translate the experience. That is like the one thing that I saw missing when I came to jiu-jitsu, is I was like, well, you motherfuckers get to learn this in English? Like, hey, hold on. Hold on. All right. So they made this really easy for you guys. I was like, I had to learn. Granted, yeah, I was being taught in simultaneously in Portuguese and English at the same time. But when it came time to facilitate events, I wasn't speaking English. So I'm like, all right, like, cool. So to me, that showed like, man, like there's a level of culture in capoeira that is a prerequisite standard that is not in most other martial arts. They're not forcing you to learn the language, but shout out to folks in judo. Like it's a very similar thing. Like you start to learn the language a little bit, you know what I mean? So